A pleasant day to you all. Continuing on to John Hospers, an introduction to philosophical analysis, chapter 4. We are now talking about theories. Now, what are theories? Theories are never proved or conclusively established, meaning it doesn't have an absolute conclusion. Therefore, it is always subject for revision in light of further investigation. Theories aim to provide an explanation to different known phenomena. Theories tend to have inconsistency, and that is why it is not considered as a natural law, and it is subject for revision in light of further investigation. To put it in perspective, if we are to test a theory 100 times, there may be conclusions that are not foreseen by the theory or not told in the theory. That's why it would have an inconsistency of such. Now, John Hospers, in order to further explain and let us understand about series, he gave series in different bodies of knowledge. For example, in the series of astronomy, he compared the Ptolemaic theory and the Copernican theory. Now, what it said simply is that the simpler theory, the better. Whereas the goal of science is to explain as much as possible by means of as little as possible. What does he mean by this? He means that the goal of science is to explain the unknown and the known as much as possible and as little information as possible in order for us to further comprehend such knowledge. But he also said that it is the simpler theory is not always used because if we are to look at it, most of the simplest theories are now disregarded when it comes to science. Continuing on, we're going to the series of geology, where he gave an example about the extinction theory that happens once every 26 million years. What he explained is that series are coherent, or that they must always be consistent. If there are inconsistencies when it comes to a series, that inconsistency must be removed. The possible reasons why there could be an inconsistency is because of an interpretation error when it comes to the data, or an error in analyzing the facts or the evidences that supports the theory. Or more commonly, it's mostly done by human errors. He also said that theories are interdependent. It means that each theory is connected to another theory that is related in the same topic. He gave this example, for example, the theory of our carbon dating system, the C-14, if I remember correctly, is used to give an analysis or an estimate, rather, of how old fossils are fossils that are found are, in order to give a rough estimate of the timeline that they existed. And that is why other theories were established, like the extinction theory. If there were if there were to become a problem when it comes to uh, the carbon dating system, for example, if they were to find out that the carbon dating system is inaccurate by 100,000 years, or lacking by 100,000 years, then it would affect all the theories that are dependent on it. For example, it would affect the extinction theory, it would affect the evolutionary uh, tree that we now believe today, or is mostly believed today. Also, theories are not disproven easily. For the reason as theories are reliable sources of explanation when it comes to different phenomena. They may have inconsistencies. That is the reason why they are subject for revision and further investigation. But most of the time, theories are reliable in explaining different phenomena that we have today. And theories are called theories because we cannot completely observe it now. In his example, he said that The extinction theory that happens once every 26 million years is called a theory because we are not capable of actually observing the extinction theory. We are not capable of going back in time and observe what happened 26 million years ago, uh, what happened in the past when the extinction theory is uh, presently happening or currently happening. And lastly, he talked about the series in physics. He said that not everything can be explained. That is why scientists turns to the unobservable explanation. And he also explained the existence of brute facts. He said that if science relies on the explanation that A is explained by the existence of B, and B is explained by the existence of item C, then what happens to the last letter? Nothing explains it. That is why that is what we would call brute facts. Brute facts are facts that we believe but are currently or scientifically unexplainable to an extent. But we still use it in order to explain other phenomena, other things that are present in our current observable universe. That is, for example, of a brute fact would be dark matter. We do not know if there really is dark matter. We have no solid proof that we have dark matter, but we do believe in dark matter. We believe its existence, and a lot of theories when it comes to astronomical bodies or explanations astronomical bodies or the universe has dark matter in it in order to explain how things happen. Now, for the first part where not everything can be explained, and then that's why scientists turns to the unobservable explanation, he also gave an example about the stone steps argument of Lucretius, a a Greek, a Greek philosophist. If I do remember correctly, he's a Greek philosopher that said that because the stones whether in time they change, it is not a complete block, whereas it's built with different smaller pieces that are bundled together and through time uh, deteriorates. And as such, these smaller pieces that are bundled together are then made up of other smaller pieces bundled together. That is how the series of the atomic series are were created. Now back then, he was not able, or Lucretius was not able to see atoms, for atoms are not observable through the naked eye. But he explains that there must be an atom or a building block of, if we could say, a building block of things that makes up everything that we see, everything that we could see in the naked eye. That is all. Thank you.